Hello, this is Bruce with Webucator. In this video, I'm going to show you a solution that Andrew Prusky came up with on how to identify large queries using SQL Server extended events. Andrew agreed to let us create this video showing a solution which is available as an article on his blog at the URL shown here. Extended events was introduced with SQL Server 2008, and with the 2012 version of SQL Server they added a GUI interface, which you can see here, and a little bit later in this demonstration I'll modify the extended event session using the GUI interface. But Andrew's blog includes a SQL script for creating this session, so I'm just going to go ahead and run that. Now what this session is going to do is it's going to capture any queries that generate more than, in my case, 10,000 logical reads. In Andrew's blog he's got it set to 200,000, but so that I can show it relatively easy in a demo, I've toned mine down to just 2,000 logical reads. You can see the query script there in the code for creating an extended event session, and you can see the filter that's got mine in my case set to 10,000 logical reads. Also, the file, or in this case the results of when the event occurs, when we get a read over 10,000, is going to be stored in this file. Now you do have to make sure that you've got the directory created. So I do have a SQL Server directory on my C drive, and I've got a subdirectory called X-Events, and then the file gets created when I run this particular script. So I'm going to go ahead and run this script, execute it. Again, you could use the GUI interface to create this just as easily or easier depending on what your skill set is, but since Andrew was nice enough to provide the script, I went ahead and used the script. Now I need to start the session, so this next block of script I'm going to execute starts the session. We could verify it in SQL Server 2012. If I refresh my extended events and sessions, I can see there is my current session. It's got a little green arrow next to it, which means it's active. It's currently capturing any data. So now I'm going to perform a query that really isn't a very smart query. I'm going to use this cross apply to create a Cartesian product which should generate a lot of I/O activity. In this case I want a lot of logical I/O reads. So we'll go ahead and execute this, wait for it to complete. Now that my cross apply query is completed, I'll switch back to my original code file, and I've got a query that I'm going to run that's going to count the number of events that are currently recorded in the session file. So we'll execute that, and it looks like it has recorded that something's recorded the event, which I assume is the query that I just got done running. And the way we can verify it is we've got another query that Andrew has provided on his blog that queries that file, uses some XQuery tricks to pull back detailed information from the query file. You can see part of the query is it's reading from that file, and I can run the inner query itself. This is part of a larger query, but I'm just going to run kind of the inner part of the query so we can get the details about it. And the result set that I get back tells me the statement, the number of physical reads, or I'm sorry, the number of logical reads that were included in it. And I've also got a link that I can get the more details. This takes me to the XML that was generated, which has a full breakdown of the information that was captured with the event, including who ran it. The full query from Andrew's blog actually summarizes, and if I scroll down a little bit you can see, summarizes and groups it by SQL statement, so we'd actually get a sum of the physical reads as well as logical reads, these two, again grouped by individual SQL statements. So if I ran the query multiple times, it would accumulate, and that's what we get in the sum value. So if I run this entire block, since I only have one event currently recorded in there, zoom in here so we can see it, then that that number. Actually, that's the duration. There's my logical reads. So again, my logical reads was filtering for 10,000, which that's got 14,218 from that one query. Andrew's blog includes steps on how to go back in and modify using the GUI interface the session. So if I come over here to my GUI interface and edit my session, I can right click the session, choose properties. From the properties window, I can go in and see that we've currently got the one event, the SQL batch completed event. If I click the configure, this takes me in where I can set the global fields that are selected. So I can see the current fields that are selected. I could add and remove fields if I want to. And we can see the filter, and the filter is currently based on logical reads being greater than 10,000. Andrew's blog includes adding another clause in here and adding an OR clause where we set based on physical reads, make it something like greater than, I'll make mine greater than 5,000. So now the event will be captured if the logical reads are greater than 10,000 or my physical reads are greater than 5,000. Click OK, and I can save that. You can also monitor the sessions in real time. If I right click the session, there's a watch live data menu choice. If I click that, this opens up a tab where I can watch live activity as it occurs. I'll go ahead and run my query again to get it to generate some activity. Now that my expensive query is completed again, I'll switch back to the live feed, and I can see that it's captured one of those events, includes some detail information at the bottom, and if I want to add columns to the top, I can right click one of the top columns and I can choose columns, and I can add additional columns into the selected columns to view as the events are occurring. In summary, using extended events is going to be a better performance than using profile sessions or using server-side traces. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.